and begin by welcoming. Good morning.
Morning.
We got you. Okay, that's everybody. Okay, I'll start by asking Mr. Cowan about welcoming any guests that are here today.
We have one special guest. Trevor, stand up. He's not really a guest, but he is today. I just brought him down and asked him for all things. Second of all, historically, history. Graduate. Let's as long as go in next week, I'll be starting Auburn University, January 7th, and their animal science program, master's, graduate research assistant. Part of their nutrition and management program under actually alumni, Justice. Focusing on research with practical management applications for South technologies. Looking forward to starting that. Enjoyed my time ready to go somewhere new. Hear a little bit about experience outside the state. Super proud of you. I would like to get our board of trustees make run room.
How hard it is that master program. I know Dr.
You're in the middle, sir.
I know you get in there.
By the way, I can't there, so next time I get over there, I'll get your number. There. All right. So I'm gonna here. Cheese. Several pictures. Draw. Congratulations. All right. Thanks. Good to see you. Appreciate you.
Hey.
Good to see you again.
Let me get one.
Yes. Very good. Yes, ma'am. It's getting, you know, you can't worry about it. It's gotta be high. Stop.
Almost feels Templeton must have been told your educational pathway. If you have a phone, you want to Okay, guys are all set. Congratulations.
We're very proud of you and exactly what we're trying to do.
Do you remember Bright Tigers?
Yes, ma'am.
Somewhere extra school education.
Right. Oh God. We are so thankful. We understand for you. Hoping you will guide us, be with us, and help us make decisions through the school for promotion of agriculture. Thank you for your many lessons. Thank you for a wonderful day today. Thank you for speaking people come here to serve. And we pray that we will serve and we will be as a cause by will. All of this we ask in the precious name of Christ and Lord Jesus. Amen.
Okay. Thank you. Roll call. Great.
Mr. Kessler online. Miss Carter is online.
I see PK.
That's might be Thomas. That's Thomas.
The other one is AI reads. It's all medical.
Mr. Kessler.
Now the agenda, the approved agenda, recognize the motion.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Any discussion, motion? Here none, all in favor say aye. All opposed, nay. Motion carries. And now the motion to approval of September 12th meeting minutes. Here a motion for that.
So movement, Mr. Chairman.
Okay. Second by Egg. Any discussion on that? All in favor say aye. All opposed, nay. So approve the minutes. This time I'll turn it over to Dr. Chow to do the president's report.
All right, I'm gonna do my first part. Thomas, see online, and we're gonna give our budget. It's on there. You got it. You see it? Okay.
Okay. Anybody have any questions? There you want.
All right, Thomas. Thank you, sir. Have a good one.
Merry Christmas.
Okay. Just want to start trying to brag on that. Stacy, Greg, Dana, here, Elizabeth, from Blue and Steve. Those are the people who work to me directly, and I should not think better team in South Carolina, because they roll, and I would like specifically brag on a couple of those. Scott, this building, ag shop. I don't think a lot of what has had going on the last 6 years. He's not stopped. Ag shop. This building, greenhouse is done. Renovate the last term up there. Beats lab. He is not with Mr. Thomas, he's going to get shortly. Ranked excellent last 3 years in a row. That's top in the next place. Mr. McCall's taking all the new roles about that shortly. Stacy finally got the shake. Just all these people. I don't want to leave one out. Y'all know that you're reported me. Thank y'all for that first. I've had several meetings lately on University Network. Dean Hope, who's that's board is ex-officio board member. That was his first year here. Trying to solidify that partnership that's scholarship specifically tied to our students. Trey, you didn't get scholarship just because you were our student. That's the goal. Our students have to have ours directly to it's like SC State's done with the some of our students down there. So anyway,
I appreciate what you've done without their help. They finally on board after you've done it.
Yeah. Looks good now.
What it feels like, it's been Mr. Thompson asked all the time for some grads. Yes. I don't know. We tried.
Have they appointed a dean at that school?
They have. Stephen Mark. Met him a couple times here. I've met him.
What's the last name?
Marks. Marks. He's the founding dean.
Where's he from?
He came to us from state.
I thought
He's from originally.
he was in the
I know Texas A&M first. State. Great guy. And I think they're slated our schedule. He's got their nation out.
I was gonna make chamber and I heard high praise from that.
Oh.
And what he used to.
Great. Sports school. Left here. I felt like it was here.
He's been here a couple of times and boy things. I heard positive things.
That was again, been important. Never been here to really
See the school out
what we did. Very productive. Not all. We went here tonight 3 weeks ago at this point. I was really proud of that meeting. Our school we had nine people in the room. Probably eight there from all ag industry. We had alumni there, foundation board members there. Just really, we heard our name more than anyone else. So, getting up here, pretty splash out here. I would not take and have specifically to solidify enrollment. Hopefully, I would say might be in your report. Next time next year we'll have graduate associates before they graduate here, about a 2 week prior to graduate year. So Mr. Thompson, especially him. Mr. McCall and I also met with Federation this week. Agriculture state's number one industry, $50 impact, but that umbrella is the number one ag industry. Last couple of years we're trying to get him here. Michael Wright, I remember him. He was the liaison on diversity. He left Farm Bureau to be liaison, and now he left Bureau. Now he works for the Poultry Federation. He was able to get that plan, figure that forward. People settle house raisers were just farm. I mean, Prestige. Phildale, some Eric, several producers, credits on that board. Thank you. Just a group of really powerful people in the industry. Some of the we have recreate educational here. Fertile leg house, breeder house, pull-up house, and roller house. The goal would be obviously trainer team 1 and South Carolina, and also hopefully some fresh poultry. I get it. This stages. Really excited. They've already started another meeting up here. They've never been on this campus, so they're not. Everyone first visit here. I thought it was very productive meeting, but ultimately mission on partnership, pushing. I remember the same conversation a couple years ago about that. I said, your mission basically pushing. So I was pushing that next couple months. We've had several. This building is already been used. The word is out. State credit your last. This week, that's the same board that you all allow me to serve on. Public, what's happening right now. This is a smaller level. They do pay $1,000. Service on that board. Come to me. Foundation.
That's been written proof of that. In order for it to be legitimate.
I just want y'all on our board. I need to say it twice.
I know.
That's where that is. It's only 4,000. Not one lot, but I don't see.
I know 5 weeks.
No, that's 1,000 annual. And they gave 1,000 first alumni. We pay from Western Social met here as well. 2 weeks ago. Superintendent from state all the way down to draw a line like Orange County. This that's all the schools that they very important in my opinion, because we have students all over the system. So our goal with that is to show how the bread. That's where students they have. Many of those don't have an ag program. Every high school has got 12 kids are being ag, and they don't have an ag program. So they're students here. I thought
Many of us have not heard in the last month, 6 weeks. So many of the public schools are saying, as I was mentioning, the government's going to have a chance. And response was, well, everybody knows they get all the money. The state, they need. I said, well, we don't get all we need. But I do need to remind you and every superintendent that a long time they ignored us a lot. So you send for fund about. So we do get probably more money than you real but there is reason. But I think that jealousy type thing now plays we look at additional programs.
And I'll also say that again, deferred maintenance 5+ years. That's why.
That's right. The stands will find you out.
That's very important that you say that our board members need to also. And I also think once you get renovated these slab, the things that were wish list items. I think the money slowed down. Right now they're pumping money. We have a very successful product. I don't understand that. 30 years getting.
Well, I think all of you know my personality. And someone says to me, oh, the governor is good. In that tone, does not well. And I spent 40 something years in public education, so I can speak.
Thank you.
My understanding is, we get a student almost school district, they still get the money for that student, don't they?
That money-
It doesn't come here. But you see, they don't understand that because they say, we don't get the daily revenue for that student. But y'all get everything, we need to be in the biology level, this, that, everything goes to the governor's school. While you were getting all of that 10 years ago, you were getting nothing. It's rotting, so.
Thank you. Couple updates. Not a new employer to call. Something you all address. He has a new role, a couple new roles underneath your umbrella. He manage lab employees once they are installed here. And sounds crazy. It's also you're just staff. For that is to get the fresh protein that we grow on this campus. Process here. Back in so that process never leaves a half a mile. You talk about locally grown. That's as local as you can possibly. We need one person umbrella our structure. He's got building experience on background. Perfect fit. I think you'll admit you have probably never in his purview, but he's done a great job so far.
This is an aside, but we killed deer and have venison here. Okay, someone else.
My knowledge, we are concerned, but I mean, students have deer here, they killed it, and they cook it, that kind of thing. We don't. All right, budget request, I'm gonna be really fast. I know I gave y'all last time, I'm just so y'all page what we the governor's office back in October. Step increase teachers. I have to ask for that every year. Recurring. That's a non-recurring request. That's a recurring. That every year we calculate how much every teacher here. That number is going to change annually. You lose a 30-year teacher, hire a first year teacher. That's a gap. Probably $4,000. That number changes every year. LS price next door, our foundation, just a crazy price is $70. That is what we requested. It's the biology lab, chemistry lab, library, renovate structure. Now that this building will be used in January into that building upgrading for renovation over here. Also house your arts classroom. Branch house. I mentioned yesterday, and again, I saw the emails. Spent a lot of time on this, but we did present their as we were demolishing our board, demolishing historical. And I was quickly told with that funding. So they have funding for it. They want to we'll make great use of that building. Right now, in our opinion, but probably a welcome center slash museum items aren't over there. House there. Alumni center.
They had all the costs involved in all that, didn't they?
They got it after that particular meeting. I presented to them that we go through their demolition, and she said, all right. She said, the man upstairs like that. I'd seen the bird. She said, when you get back, Scott was with me, and it's in picture study that we don't got a copy of 4 or 5 years ago, and sent that, and I got a response 3 days.
And that is whatever it costs, response, isn't that right? Whatever it costs, the government's ready to fix it.
Yeah, but let me explain how it works first. It's just because this is how normal government works in our state. The governor's office takes the budget. That might be in his budget. I don't mean House and Senate right? So now I have to go to the House and Senate side to ask for the same thing.
Election year.
They're not going to necessarily understand probably or agree to. So that does not mean it's going to happen. It's y'all's fault. Y'all's balls ass.
But when the House and Senate, they'll know that our boss won't.
I worked with Patrick to make sure Patrick had make sure he tells the General Assembly not high priority of ours. Money comes, we'll make that we have other dollars. That's how I'm presenting it. Yeah, and we have it's a rank pass 1 through 10. It's our lowest ranks. So
I don't want to take away
well, our ag grant here as well, $7 million grant structure which will create revenue. Something really true. So
our road system private.
You're not going to clear answer because I've never got a clear answer. Scott and I, it's not private road, public road. You can't get county TC funds because there's a gate. Onshore, that's priority number 2. 3.6 million year. And that's been on our CPF for the last couple of years. Every year that moves up. We got meetings that it moved up to that place.
They are not classified with transportation board. It's public. They are not.
Working with one of our parents, who is chief of staff for DOT. He's promised DOT will help us track a better price. That's another request there. Recurring budget. This is a recurring request for $9,000. Culinary arts person, mental health admin assistant, foundation person. Right now she's already her first house now with money is coming in. They're about to get the road added to that house. And then a couple more aides. Utilities insurance calls for this building, it's going to go way up, obviously, there's also tax job, motivation.
Was any of those budgets, freshman, we gotta get approval first to the issue that I talked about, getting like a CEO. That has to happen first, the budget.
Got to have the position approved.
But your request.
That comes through HR side. Then you go back on that. We just don't have the budget to create their job salary.
Understand. But again.
We can't create jobs first, that's the HR first.
So where we at in that process?
We have not requested position.
So that's position.
We did. I got put on board with student numbers, they're all in with them. They don't like that. I just know how that General Assembly. Admin,
But again, we've got to take some of the load off of you in order for you to do the things you got to do.
Right now, I appreciate it. We're rocking and rolling. I don't disagree with it. Just like other construction, quickly. Mark with students.
Let's keep
I don't want to get Y'all remember my first budget hearing down there. Mr. Thompson was with me. $8,000 debt. On my $8,000 debt. I don't know if y'all remember that from the former school superintendent. They talked about the superintendent who didn't have his license, so they hired another school superintendent who had his license. We went through all that stuff. You were there, one of those. That's my concern. You know what I mean? We want it, we need it. Eventually, in time,
But we hope it's gonna be a feather in our cap, that we're getting excellent ratings with a very lean staff. We'd like to have more, but
And now, I mean, we have our first product out of college. That stuff starts coming easier. So right now, just for y'all, I'm happy. We got a great staff. We're rolling. I'm going to just for the sake of speed. Scott, I'm sure you're going to update on Ag Shop and Del Al Hall.
Yes, sir.
Meat Slab, you're going to update.
Yes, sir.
Meat Slab, you're going to update. Only thing I want to say about the Meat Slab is we are probably 2 or 3 years ahead of this national trend. Please Google that story. I think I might have sent it to y'all about Brooke Rollins, the Secretary of Agriculture, wanting to build these small buildings, processors across the country. That's cool to me that we 3 years at least ahead of her initiative. So national champs, we have our first national championship team. Tennessee and defeated them. Some of those are in Tennessee today, right? In Nashville. We just recently won the state wildlife contest. DNR, partnered with DNR on a few things. They're very interested in Del Howe's home site. They did an archaeological dig here back in the 90s. They want to come do an additional dig. They run some places. Mark down there, so I don't think we need a board vote on that. I think that would just be working with the state archaeologists. It's pretty cool to uncover some cool artifacts. His name has came up, yes.
in fact, he's in the white books that they're reading.
This is, they have a copy of this book. So obviously, he's retired by now. But they're using some of his former work. And Carl's school. A couple of dates just put in calendar. February the 7th is our alumni dance. Ron, I don't know if you want to speak on that. Ticket prices, location.
Well, location is Summer Lakes Recreation Center like it was last year. Tickets will be $65 a person, and we're working on the meal, the buffet like we was last time. We have a band, Rhonda McDowell, whatever. Beach music, she's good. In fact, she's cousin to Penny Hill. She's gonna be playing again this year. So again, we want everybody to come. Enjoy it. And we have a silent auction. We have a lot of things for silent auction. We get more information out to the board and everybody. We're meeting, matter of fact, we meet Sunday afternoon to finalize the flyers and tickets and things like that.
So y'all get the flyer ready? I'll send it all out.
We should have that Sunday, I hope.
Okay, March 7th, that's our Ag Fest. I have a special consideration for this group, for this board of trustees. And it's a Saturday. Y'all's board meeting is planned for that following Friday, March the 12th. I would like to ask this board to consider having their board of trustees meeting on March the 7th. That way you can see Ag Fest, we can come to a quick business meeting in here. You can come and see the whole thing. Does that make sense? Because a lot of times 4 or 5 of y'all come anyway, and that's the following week. Nothing I don't think needs to be voted on right now, but consider, let's see, our next board meeting is. Is that our next board meeting? Okay. Never mind.
March 27th.
It's March the 27th, I think, we're going to move on 29th.
I thought it was March the
27th, I think.
12th. Okay.
Ag Fest is March 12th, March 7th.
Ag Fest is March the 7th. I'm asking this board to consider moving your board of trustees meeting to that day. It's a Saturday, I get it. But kind of, you don't have to vote on it now. You could be an email vote, it could be a discussion now. That is totally up to y'all. And if not, we will have it on the 27th regardless.
I think it'd be a good plan to have it on the 7th. Just my opinion.
I agree, I had never been until last year, and it's just fabulous, that's all I can say.
I can just see y'all being here, see the event, step in here, we can do a 1-hour session, or whatever. March is usually kind of a easy board meeting, really nothing to vote on, unless something huge happens between now and then. Because all the budget stuff's done, calendar, everything else is discussed, voted on.
I make a motion to change it from the 27th to the 7th of March. I can say it.
Moves and seconds that we move that date. Any discussion? Additional discussion?
Virtual option.
Absolutely.
Virtual, yeah. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. Okay. We move it to
Awesome. Thank you.
So our board meeting will be on that day.
March the 7th. March 7th, we'll still do a 10:30 meeting. Get here, 9 o'clock, whatever, however early you want, and have breakfast, kind of mill around, and we'll, in my mind, step over here and do a quick business meeting. 2 birds, 1 stone. Thank you. That's all I've got. Okay. Scott, you're gonna go over to this office.
Yes, sir.
I want to thank Bert publicly, for his help with the John Deere Gator Wars. He's mentioned that in this board meeting before, but our students, I said to Joe yesterday, but our students came in second, so that shows you he's not padding the books a little bit on our scores.
Yeah, and I told Steve earlier, so, upper region, lower region, we take the 2 top teams from each region, so it's over 4 teams. And from the state standpoint, Governor School is actually in 4th place. So, the whole state. So they'll advance to the, state competition, which will be at the FFA convention in June, where we'll actually load whole machines, let them work through the exercise in about less than an hour. Yeah, you bet.
That is my report. I mean, we could spend all day in here with things that we do. I say, here's overview the last 3 months, but if you have any questions, please let me know. If not, I would like to ask our department heads to allow Mr. Thompson and Steve to go first. And mix it up a tad bit. Is that okay? Mr. Thompson has to get on the road for something.
Yeah, good morning, everybody.
Morning.
Just gonna share with you our school report. If you look at it, you'll see the student of the months, well-deserved students. we like to highlight our student of the month every month, and they get recognized and they get a gift certificate, and I think they get lunch with Dr. Calvin. Am I correct, Dr. Calvin?
That's correct.
So, so those are well-deserved students. Your upcoming events, as always, we're busy. If you look at some of the upcoming events, we like to give back to the community. We have the Adopt a Family that's going on right now. We just run the Salvation Army Bell this week. We have Christmas for Critters. We collect all those items now. Secret Santa's was within house, but we're doing all these things to actually give back to the community. As Dr. Cowan mentioned, we have two groups in Nashville, Tennessee. They're competing. They'll be on their way back this afternoon. And next week, this is where we really have to settle down. We have ZAMs next week. We'll have ZAMs on Wednesday and Thursday of next week, and then we'll have our winter break. So when we get back hot and heavy, we'll be in this building with our academic classes. We're in the process of actually moving now. And as you see, we have all these other events going on. Also want to mention, I got a chance to speak at the Regional Cognitive Conference back in November. I was only going to go and be a spectator. They contacted Dr. Cowan personally and said they really wanted me to present. I didn't want to present, but I did. I had a packed room. I had several employees from Cognitive show up there. I don't normally brag on myself, but I'm gonna brag on myself a little bit. I showed up and showed out. And so
You about to talk yourself into another job.
a lot of more people are interested in the school. They're really encouraging us to go through Cognitive's STEM program. And so we're gonna get through winter break and then take a look at that. And so, like I said, we're proud of what we were able to accomplish so far at the school. And I think that's a wonderful accomplishment to be a Cognitive accredited here at our school. School report card. I think that's a good problem to have when you make a 93 and you're upset. Okay, we're a little upset because we made a 93 because we dropped 5 points. Okay, we dropped 5 points because we had a 98 the 2 previous years, and so so we're trying to figure out where we lost these points. So I want to share a few little things with you. But first of all, before I move forward on that, the school report card is a collective effort from everybody on campus. This is not just from the school. It comes from all the departments, all our department heads that are in here, our parents that work so hard, our students. It is a collective effort to get for this report card. Also, if you get a chance to see Miss Lively, she's also behind the scenes. She wears several different hats. Actually, she's in training this year with Power School training. She's doing that a couple of days a week to get us trained on that, because we normally have to subcontract the guy to get us all our data from Power Schools. All right, just some highlights on this. We lost points. We appear to have lost points on our prepared for success. Okay, that's an area that they did not rate us on last year because we didn't have enough students. But we had enough students this year. But what was interesting is that we scored above the state average. That is with biology and U.S. history when you talk about in the course tests. But they make this comparison not only to the state, but just the overall test score, and we're still trying to explain that. But we are proud of the teachers. We're not satisfied with the score, but we're looking to make improvements. One of the biggest things we're doing for in the course test last year, I told you we added an enrichment period. We're doing enrichment Monday through Thursday. So we added on 30 minutes to our school day. And so during this time, especially second semester, we'll start pulling these kids and start getting them ready for the end of course test. And last year we did it for just a short period of time, and we ended up having success with it. So we're excited about second semester and getting these kids ready for the end of course tests. Couple other
Let
things.
me ask you something about the
Yes.
math score.
Mhm.
Were we significantly low? I see it's 51%. That's nationally a trend. So was that much lower than we were last year?
Well, last year we didn't have a kid test. I don't think we had a kid test because this.
Oh, you
this
didn't?
Is, right.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am. So we'll have kids tested the previous year because they're switching the sequence,
Okay.
and so we'll start having some kids tested. Yes. All right. Just flipping through some of our little highlights. Our graduation rate, we stay at 100% on graduation rate. We have to have that. Also, the percent of kids on track to graduate at 96%. And sometimes that's just a matter of classes that they've taken that we have to make sure that they're in sequence of taking classes. We might take a kid that might be off tilted for a minute. On cohort, college and career ready. Kids are college and career ready. You'll see that. And that's based off several little factors with college and career ready. Our kids that are taking dual enrollment, our dual enrollment has increased significantly. We're offering a lot of dual enrollment classes right here on campus, especially with our ag teachers. Most of our ag classes are dual enrollment classes now. Certifications, we make sure all our kids graduate with a recognized state certification. ASVAB tests, we try to get our top students to take the ASVAB test. We do not push the military on these students, but we share with them that this doesn't mean you have to sign up for the military, but this will be a good indicator, and also use it on your resume. And we just offered the ASVAB test this week. Ms. Newton has gotten trained where she can actually administer the ASVAB test. We're going to do it in the fall. We're also going to do it in the spring. We just had 4 kids take it this past week, and we're hoping in the spring to have close to 10. Work-based learning. We have several kids in work-based learning. We get points for that as well. Piedmont Tech, make a slight little correction with Dr. Cowan. This year's graduates, we have some real close to getting an associate's degree. Our 10th graders this year, most likely several of them will actually get it. We've been meeting with them several times with Piedmont Tech to make sure we can make this happen. And one of the things that I'm proud of, the relationship between Piedmont Tech and Clemson has gotten a whole lot better. When we first got here, it was kind of a sour relationship between the two because we want to make sure that these classes can be transferable to Clemson when these kids actually take it. So we've actually been having meetings with them as well. And so one other thing I'm proud of with the report card are the surveys. All right, one of the surveys, the question, the learning environment. Teachers 100%, the students 88.2%, and the parents 95%. That's actually showing a lot. Do the kids feel safe? The parents, they feel these kids are safe here at the school. By teachers, do they feel safe? 100%. I'm not gonna go over all of them, but we have several 90s on some of the environment of our school, which I'm very proud of. So that's our state report card. This is something we work on throughout the whole year. If you go to our data room, we start tracking day 1. We can almost predict our report card. We have a balanced scorecard where we fill in where we're tracking different academic measures and things of that nature. We already do a survey to see where the kids and parents are prior to them getting the state survey. So we have some things we need to work on. So this is not something that just happens overnight. This is something we work on throughout the whole year. The academic calendar, which we're going to need you to vote on. A few little questions about that. We've always asked the question that have we considered going year round? Because several school districts are doing that. We do not. One of the things is we use our campus to rest during the summer, and Mr. Mims has a lot of repairs to do during the summer, so it would make it hard for us to do year round. Also, Ms. Kinsey Miller uses the campus for her camps, and that serves as recruiting. And so that's one reason we haven't even considered going year round. Another question that's always asked during our calendars is recognizing some of our state holidays. Some of our holidays that take place in the middle of the week, one of those one-day holidays. Our regular employees get them off, but our school staff does not. And one reason being, we like to have our kids to have an opportunity to have a full week for fall break. They have a full week for Thanksgiving. They have the full 2 weeks for the winter break, and they have a full week spring break. So when you have all these long breaks, that kind of takes away from those single holidays. Although we think they're important and that they should be honored and recognized, it does not work into our school schedule. Okay. And then another thing comes up is spring break. You know, everybody's a little selfish. We travel into our school in 5 different directions. Me being real selfish, I like it first full week in April because that's Masters Week. Masters has an effect on me because I'm in Augusta. Master has no effect on other people living this way. So we have the Masters Week. And one thing about Masters Week, I was going to bring it to your attention. We're starting to get a little buzz in the Masters. We have one of our graduates that graduated 2 years ago is currently working at the Augusta National. And we asked him, don't mess this up. Don't mess it up. And then we also asked him about his interview questions. And he said the whole time during the interview, they kept asking him about their school, which I thought was great. And one of our parents actually works at the Augusta National. And so we're hoping in the near future we can build a bond with that in the Augusta National as far as that's concerned. But this is the calendar. Most teachers in other districts have a chance to vote on 3 different calendars. We don't have that liberty because it's very cut because of the things that we have to do. If we want to start in a certain time and if we want to finish by the end of May, it doesn't give us much flexibility. But this is the calendar. We hope we can get it voted on so we can actually publicize it to our parents so they can start planning their vacations and things of that nature. They do that in executive session.
Good, you can vote to approve that.
Yeah, they voted on the calendar.
Yeah.
You don't need to do that yet. We'll just wait this way. All right, Steve. Thank you, Mr. Thompson.
All right,
Thanks, sir.
I'm going
Do y'all
to
have any questions?
tell them where I'm going.
Yeah, please.
So I got invited, and I invited myself to the Celebration Bowl. South Carolina State is playing Prairie View, and so I'll be hanging out with those 1890 people from South Carolina State. Dr. Whiteside, they've been very supportive of our school, and I get a chance to meet some of the 1890 people from Prairie View, Texas, and so looking forward to that. So we'll be on TV tomorrow, 12 o'clock. We'll be on ABC. So cheer on your South Carolina State Bulldogs.
Make us proud.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Congratulations on the score as well.
Thank you, sir.
Good morning. The only thing that's not on my notes for the safety department is 2 days this week I spent with CRG mapping, conducting the GPS mapping of our campus. They mapped every room, not just building, every room on campus for emergency responders. This is an initiative that was paid for by the Department of Education. So the gentleman, this company, they're doing it for every school in the state. So it took him 2 days to go through every room here at Mappin. And he loved this place. The young man loved this place, wants to send his kids here. So awesome. That was the only thing that's not in my notes. And if you have any other questions, let me know.
Thanks for helping out.
Oh, yeah. Scott.
as Dr. Cowan said earlier, as of right now with Del Al Hall, we started moving in office space yesterday. So Mr. Thompson and his staff are currently working in getting in here and getting settled in. We've had a lot of help with Dr. Moore, Dr. Thompson, Mr. Thompson, and Officer Osborne. We did a mock trial this week with kids walking over, going through classes. They come up one stairwell, go down another, so it's not a lot of interference in that. So we've done that a couple of times, but we are getting very close. We are everybody's finally starting to get the buzz, getting excited about coming over here. So it's worked out well. We're planning right now to, when they come back in January, their first day of class will be in this building. I am working with Miss Martin now. I think on Monday afternoon, we're going to try to have their movie night, which was extended about a month later than what I wanted, but we're trying to work on some final details with that. So Del Hall is wrapping up. There's still a bunch of punch list items, and there will be punch list items go on for probably the next 60 days taken care of. I told y'all before last time we'd have a sign on this wall when y'all came back with everything, but with this new ag shop being built, I'm gonna let the kids design the sign. We're gonna try to make it here. I don't know how it's gonna work out, but we're gonna try to do it in-house on that deal. This week, yesterday, I had all the, for the site work to go on the outside. We had architects apply yesterday, so we're looking at January 12th of trying to select the firm on January 12th to move forward. In a miracle world, June, July would be a great time to have that project finished, but there's a lot of paperwork that goes involved, so y'all know how that works out. So I'm not sure on if that's going to work, but that's what we're shooting for. So we're moving right along with that. As Dr. Cowan said about the ag shop, if you have a quick second today, please stick your head in there and see what you got. It's been a long process, but I'm telling you, I looked at Mr. Rutt the other day and told him, I don't want to hear you complain about anything, because he's gotten everything he has wanted down there. It looks extremely good. Really proud of that project. Residence Hall, Dr. Cowan said, not a whole lot I can do with that. Money's not even available until February. Once the money is available, then I have to go to the state and ask for it. So that's probably another 4 or 5 months before I even have the opportunity to receive it. So there's absolutely no way we'll be ready for next school year. It would be 2027 before that's available. Meats Lab, we are currently working Tuesday. The architects will be applying again for that firm. We have a small panel that'll be getting together, choosing that firm out. Me and Mr. McCall, we actually had a conference call yesterday, didn't work out so great. But we're starting to look into the equipment of what we need inside. Honestly, that build for me is probably one of the most simplest builds I could do. It's a red iron building. You know, it's not a whole lot on my end. It's basically, what are we going to do on the inside? How are we going to lay out the guts? And that's where Mr. McCall is coming in. We're going to have to work back and forth and throw ideas and come up with. So very excited about it. As Dr. Cowan said, you know, with the research, we're way ahead of the game, and it is going to really put us on the map with that. This guy we spoke with yesterday does a lot of dairy stuff, and he was blown away what we're trying to do with high school students. So that's in.
What do we do with all on that?
We're probably going to end up working on all with Darlington Ingredients. I've had a prior relationship with them. I have already spoke to them, and they have assured me that they would take our all and we'll get it that way. So that's what the plan is now. Everything's going, everything can change once we get involved and get architects and stuff involved and see where we're going. But that is, when we were looking at initial stages, that's what we're looking at all on that. Vets Lab, I'm telling y'all, I am very proud of my group. I told Dr. Cowan I had asked for $50,000 to go in and redo the building and get it up, and get it ready. As of yesterday, now I still got 4 that's got to go in there, but my group, we have done it for about $6,000. We have done every single phase in-house, and the ones that were here from the get-go know that it was that's a big feat for us. I mean, it's nice. I finally got a group that we can do a lot of things in-house. Super proud of my group, but we're still going to end up around that 50 by the time we buy all the accessories that go inside. I know we got some prices yesterday.
I got to work with Ms. Smith on some things on her end and from donation wise, but very excited about that. Another thing I'm proud of, I don't know how many of y'all have been to the pond back there on the backside, but it has been a mess since I've been here. We finally we saved the money, got to purchase us an excavator, and I told Dr. Calvin that was going to be one of my first things we going to fix. And so I took Mr. Lamb back there this morning to get his knowledge on it to make sure that we were doing what we thought was right, and we're right on pace. So we hopefully will get that. That'll be a big asset. I took Ms. Miller down the other day for her camps, and it just opens up a big thing for us on that deal. Also, one last thing, the cafeteria, I will tell y'all here in the next year, you're going to see some changes going on in there, and that Mr. McCall has really been working on. We've been putting a brain together trying to figure out how we can do some different layouts. But I went to a state conference about a month and a half ago. One thing they want to do is they're trying, even no matter how old your building is, they are trying to get everything ADA. And if you know that building is not ADA qualified. So we're going to be doing some things with bathrooms, the back parking lots, trying to get some accessibility to get in there. So if you come in and you see a few different changes, some things fall apart, that's what we're trying to do. There again, we've been fortunate enough, we have put some money back, and that's what we're going to try to use on some of these little projects and do as much as we can in-house. That one there, we're probably going to step out as a small project just because it's going to be a lot of demo and tearing out. And as with camps coming in the summertime, we don't really have a downtime, but we think we have a plan. We're just going to try to get it in place. I would love for this summer to make it work, but we just want to see how the time will work out. So, just wanted to give y'all a little update. Any questions on our end?
Thank you.
Thank y'all. Good.
All right, Ms. Jensen.
Thanks.
Good morning, everybody. As usual, there were some changes in the applications. That's a good thing. Those numbers went up since I submitted the report to y'all, so now we have 3 applicants in review to transfer into the spring semester. 1 has been accepted, and so we're already starting the enrollment process. So we're hoping to have 4 more students join us in the spring. And then for next school year, the applications in progress went up to 34 are in progress, and there are now 32 completed. So those numbers look really good for us. We'll start reviewing as soon as we get back from the holiday break. In January, we'll start reviewing those students and then sending out some acceptance letters, hopefully in early February. So a couple of other things I wanted to point out. Mr. Teeters has done a great job. He's got our podcast back up and going. So if you were a listener to that, tune back in. We've got 3 new episodes, I think, that are already out there. And if you weren't listening before, check it out. It's on every podcast platform, I think, that is out there, Apple, YouTube, and all that good stuff. So check that out. The students have done a great job with that under Mr. Teeters' leadership. Our recruiters have visited 105 schools this semester as of today. So that's those 3 recruiters that y'all allowed us to bring in, and I think they're doing a phenomenal job. 105, we had, I think, 100 last year total for the school year. So 105 in just the fall semester shows that 3rd person coming in really kicked it up a notch for us. We've also put so many miles on the lease vehicles that we're now up for having to get new leases. So those are all good things. I threw in numbers on the field trips and the workshops this year. I didn't total them up for y'all, but a total that's over 700 people that have been on our campus. Students of all ages, adults that have come for educational opportunities here, and that's just really in September, October, and November. Because August we kind of start out slow, and then December we bring it back down. But that's over 700 people. So
Since September?
Yes, ma'am. Since September, yes, since the school year started. So, we talk about student numbers. That's obviously always a priority, but our team, all department heads and everyone around here is doing a lot to make sure that we open our campus to all different groups and opportunities for everybody to be educated in agriculture. So I just wanted to point that out to y'all today.
Awesome.
The 4 new students will bring us up to 95 total.
We actually possibly might be losing a few, so we might end up being back at 91 at when we started the school year. So break even, if you will.
Well, once you get tested one, that's bringing 12 more.
That's right. Next year is going to be a huge, well, the following school year is going to be a huge recruiting year for us. We've got a really large senior class, over 40 something, I think, in next year's senior class, plus the addition of Hester. So yeah, our recruiters are really gonna have to be put to the fire on that. Thank you.
Ms. Ann is not with us.
Mr. McCall. Good morning, everybody. If you just cruise over my report, I tried to get some highlights of what all was going on with the farm. I spent a good bit of time recently just trying to do some high-level stuff to align the farm, the cafeteria, the training improvements, and all, just to make sure that we're all headed in the same direction. I would like to brag on staff a little bit. Miss Cassandra Sophie, the manager of the cafeteria, and her group. At first, when we kind of came on board, didn't really know how they would receive things because with change, we're visibly bringing change to the program, what they've been doing. I've got to say they have been excellent work with. I genuinely believe that they're excited about providing fresh food, about looking at different options. There's been a lot of discussion about right now, if we can't provide certain things from the farm, but we know that we want to, we can also purchase those items in the fresh form and begin the process. Let's just say take potatoes, for example. We've taken all the receipts from 2025 and boiled down the items that we ordered from US Foods and tried to identify the specific things that we need to work hardest on replacing. Potatoes is a huge one. Believe it or not, milk is one of the top also. And then, so what we're doing an exercise in trying to get our staff prepared for preparing for actually serving fresher foods without us actually growing them right now, but it helps us identify on the farm plan what we need to grow and develop a strategy for moving forward there. So, it's been a good experience so far. I know Scott talked a good bit about planning for the needs lab. All of that seems to be going really well. Everyone that we've been in contact with so far is very excited about it. All the way up at the back of my report, I'll let y'all look through some of the other stuff, but the highlights, I was pretty proud of my farm group. We processed our first group of meat chickens a couple of weeks ago. We've had the equipment for a while. We didn't really have the space. We didn't have things strategically aligned where we could grow out cohort groups of chickens and process them, but we successfully did that and vacuum packed them. They're in the freezer now, so that kind of opens the door for us to build on that. We've got some plans laid to ramp up production there. Also been coordinating with the cafeteria staff. You know, it's a big difference between ordering a bag of chicken nuggets and processing whole chicken. And serving those whole chickens. So, we've been looking at different ways that we can use what we're growing, but I'm really excited about the fact that we've had a successful processing of chickens. That was, beef and pork we've been doing great on, but poultry was kind of like this one animal protein. The equine program, Miss Baxley, I can't really say enough about what she's doing. She brings a level of expertise and professionalism that we have really been we were really hoping for when we looked to fill that position. And we've had great response from students. The biggest thing to come from it will probably be our IEA show team, where our students will begin to compete on a regular basis. But I will say our herd health has improved, the facilities has improved, and our relationship with Clemson, we've had a lot of several events where we're coordinating back and forth with folks from Clemson to come out and do some education stuff at the Equine Center. It's really been going well. Just want to brag on her. On our ag liaisons, that we just had SAE presentations for our students. I think it's fair to say that the fruits of their labor were evident there. They really have helped the students up their game, I think, in terms of the quality of their presentations. But I'm super proud of them because they're also working on labs and working with the work-based learning groups, and they've just really been working hard. Miss Jones and her pollinator program, she's all over the place. She's on just about every social media outlet I think that you can be on, and she's really had a lot of success there. And I see you've got Chart and Honey Energy, Honey Sound. last 2 days, and we're on track to really do well next spring. Our colonies look great. I don't know if many of you work with bees, but it has been a struggle the past few years with all of the things that honeybees are facing. I would say she is extremely disciplined in the care of our hives, and I think I credit her fully on the fact that we have 20-something colonies and all of them are alive and thriving. My dad's a beekeeper. He had 7 colonies and lost 4 last year. So, I mean, and it's a statewide thing. But she is very vigilant, and I have to credit her for a lot of what is going on. But just, I encourage you to take a ride around the farm and take a look. We're replacing fencing. We're putting in water lines. Very soon we'll be drilling our wells, which is part of the NRCS agreement that we have with the EQIP program, which kind of helps fuel a lot of the other projects that we have going on campus. And it's kind of a unique time. A lot of things that we've really been pursuing in the background are starting to gel right now. And it's exciting. We've got some good stuff coming together. And I will say to my fellow department heads, nothing that we do here is one person alone accomplishing things. It is truly an agency-wide effort because every department here works together seamlessly. So we get a lot of these things done. Thank you, Ray.
So it's pretty obvious when you look right around there.
Yes, yeah, I did not mention that, sorry. We do have a preview day going on today. We have 11 families on campus touring, and those are all either students who put in applications, or there's actually a handful who haven't yet put in applications, so that's a good thing. Hopefully they leave today and go home and fill that application out.
Let me ask you, so I had a reporter ask me this question. Can anybody, this is a question, can anybody in a high school in South Carolina, public high school, apply to this school?
Yes, ma'am. And
Anybody, is that correct? I said any student that's enrolled in a public high school in South Carolina can apply.
private or homeschool groups as well. Yes, ma'am. Anyone eligible 10th through 12th grade.
I thought I was right, but anyway, somebody questioned me.
Just want to say real quick, Merry Christmas from the farm staff.
I know it.
Ms.
I
Jones
think that's
also
right. I love
this honey, I don't know if I announced this since state fair, but there were 2 first place wins with her honey.
Yeah.
One was the amber and one was the dark honey.
I think it was amber and dark.
Anyway, so you're in the state champion.
They're actually going to show, I think it's in Indianapolis coming up. They have to ship the honey there ahead of time and let it settle and all that stuff, and it's going up there.
And Eric, if they want to purchase extra for Christmas gifts and things,
Yeah, you see me.
Well, I
If
was
we have
saying
some left.
that this business of maintaining those hives, my master gardener instructor lost all of her hives. All of them. I think she had 6 and she lost all of them.
It's been tough the last few years.
I have been chased by the bees on a piece of equipment before. Those suckers are not happy.
Miss Stacy with our foundation.
Good morning. I want to thank the board for, the big news at the foundation right now is that we got the money, right? But that came through this board. So some time ago, y'all voted to let the foundation pursue being the stewards of those state funds. And I just want to thank y'all for that. We would not be where we are with that endowment without y'all's support. So thank you so much.
So it was $700,000, wasn't it?
$733,000 and a couple extra, little bit of change. So yeah. And so a big initiative for the foundation board, a big challenge moving forward is for them to help us grow that endowment to $1 million. When we reach $1 million, we'll just have a new goal. So I know the other 2 governor schools have nice endowments and they've been there for 30 years working on theirs, but we're gonna try to keep pace and catch up to them, and who knows, maybe we'll outpace them one day. And everything the foundation does is to kind of co-parent the school and the student. I look at us as like a helpmate to the school. And so everything, that the school is doing and the strategic plan that Dr. Cowan is pursuing, the foundation is trying to follow step with that. So, with the pollinator program, we did get a grant and applied for that last year. We got the $25,000 from Duke Energy. And it was just so fun to be a part of it. We get to order the beehives and order the organic certified thingy that extracts the honey. You know, I'm learning about all this. And, you know, we purchased the jars and got to be involved in that excitement of them getting their first jar of honey. And so it's just a lot of fun for us. Also at the vet clinic on March the 7th, AgFest Day, that evening, there will be a casino night that the community is doing out in Savannah Lakes. That event, that fundraiser will be to support the vet clinic exclusively. The foundation also did receive some unrestricted money, and our board voted to appoint it to support the vet clinic. So Dr. Cowan, and he might could do it without us, but we love getting to be part of it. We have $30,000 with that one donation and some community support that we've been raising already to support the vet clinic. So we'll be able to be involved in that, help them get whatever they need as far as surgical equipment, medical supplies, whatever we can do to facilitate. And it's exciting because our donors get to feel like they're a part of it. They get to share in the success of the school. I had 2 donors drop by the office this morning to give us Christmas end of year gifts. You know, when we moved off campus over on Highway 81 next to the dairy barn, I kind of felt like maybe a little bit of a redheaded stepchild there for a minute, but it's worked out really well because the community knows we're there, even though we don't have our signage yet. We kind of have an open door policy, and the community is stopping by and visiting with us. They're curious about the school. They don't have to go through, you know, the welcome center. They can stop by and find out how they can be involved. We had a lady drop off a Christmas tree that will probably be here in Delaware Hall next year. It's just an artificial tree. But people are just excited, and, you know, the foundation is so happy to be part of everything going on here at the school. We have lots of events coming up. We will do our Sportsman's Banquet again this year. That's been a big, successful fundraiser. This year, it is being held March 21st over in Abbeville at the Terrace. One of the challenges is that we packed out our venue every year, everywhere we've been. So if the first year was at the National Wild Turkey Federation, we were pretty full there. It was the hottest day of the year outdoors, so we did move it to the Hickory Knot. If the fire marshal had showed up, we were dangerously close to being at capacity, and so we've moved over to Abbeville. We hope that some of you will join us. We'll have a comedian that night. We'll have a
Where did you
lunch.
say you're gonna be at Abbeville?
The Terrace, it's a new wedding venue near the high
Oh,
school.
yeah.
So if you go past the Abbeville High School, it's the big white barn. We're looking forward to being there. It's a beautiful space.
To the side high school.
Yes, to the right.
I didn't see you coming up the
No.
road before we wasn't looking there.
Yeah. But that's where we'll be over in Abbeville.
That's not the old Grace.
It's a brand new facility, brand new build, I think it's been there less than a year maybe. And so we'll have a comedian and lots of fun that night, some good food, so we hope you'll come out. And we do a lot to raise money for our meals scholarships and for international travel that night, and a lot of the money goes to support the shotgun team and the forestry program here that Mr. Morton is in charge of. So fun things. You've got lots of notes about, you know, some of the things that we've done this year. Does anybody? Don't let me forget to mention, we've had our first, what we call a legacy gift. So Dr. Delahow left the legacy of this land in his will. And so anyone who leaves a portion of their will to us or a part of their estate, we're calling that now our Legacy Society. And we've had our first donor. She provided a copy of her will. She doesn't have any children of her own. And she has left some acreage, part of a small business, and her residence to the foundation to benefit the school. And so I have 3 other donors that are interested. So this is part of what we're communicating when we meet with donors, when we talk with them, that if you want to be part of the legacy. So we have different campaigns. This is a new one. We'll be talking about it at the retreat, how we want to really, you know, grow that program and get that message out, that people can leave a percentage of their estate, or, you know, we might be in the top 3 or 4. This lady, you know, when I met with her, she has a niece and nephew, and I kept saying, please leave them something, you know. We want you to leave for us to take care of your family. But it's great that people are thinking about that and they're reading about the history here. And, you know, we say Dr. Delahou's name every day, right? Because he did such an important thing. I'm told that they still teach from his will at USC Law School because it's been an unbreakable will. And Mr. Coble calls it the gold standard of estate law. So, you know, it's just something that resonates with people, and we're so happy, you know, that people are thinking that way.
It's a smart cookie. What do you do with your property?
It'll probably be sold, and the acreage, I mean, you know, when that time comes, and that's something we need to talk about in our board meetings. You know, I don't vote. My personal opinion is if someone leaves an estate gift, we might want to sell the property and put it in our endowment. But it could be we decide to sell the lumber first, or, you know, there could be timber on some acreage that we receive. As a matter of fact, this acreage, I believe there would be. So, you know, we would strategically decide how to get the most value from any gift that's left. Moving forward. So, any questions? Oh, thank you so much. We enjoy it.
That's a
Merry
great
Christmas,
job.
everybody.
Great job.
Thank you.
I think I sent this forward an email from Ms. Leakey's new roles as our HR liaison. Ms. Dana, I told you all the time she wears 1,000 different hats. It was time to give her a small break, I think. So Ms. Leakey stepped in that role. If you have any updates right now, give those now, Ms. Leakey, or not, or
I really don't have any updates for, Miss Dana was trying to do the class update for me. But I don't really have any updates other than we're just finishing up with, our new, benefits year will start in January, and there were some changes. But as a whole, I'm learning, and, I've learned, I've been in HR some years back, and, I'm really excited. And I thank Ms. Dana for all the work she's been doing.
also, while we're under HR two, my evaluation that you all have given me annually has changed 100%. I did send y'all that because you replied back and said, what is all this or something? And it was probably 20 plus pages of, y'all used to get like a 2-pager, you just kind of ranked it, whatever. This thing is a lot more depth than that.
I thought I was going to do it in just a few minutes.
I know, when I saw it, I thought, what's all this? That's why I said to Brody, and said, what's this?
So y'all will still have an opportunity to evaluate it, but the new system is I enter goals, projects, get his approval for those, which I sent to him to look at, review. It goes to state HR, then we go to, I would say, planning. No, we just did the planning
We just did
stage.
the planning stage. You're gonna get something later on that you'll need to do. But, so the state HR is really doing it. It's automated.
It's automated.
I understand, so I'm sure it's efficient.
Y'all still have a voice overall, but my duty is to report to him and he gets the information that's appropriate. I don't have that time right now. I think it's in the spring. But y'all get that. All right. Ms. Dana.
For Res Life, there is a couple updates. We have hired a new recreational specialist. Our original one was Ms. Cockrell. She stepped over to the school in September, so that position was vacant. We thought we had a candidate mid-October, and it didn't work out. So our new candidate will start January 5th. We're very excited. She comes to us with a lot of student services and higher education, Res Life, and activity experience. She's very excited as well. She worked at Disney and Universal as well with activities. She's also local. She has an agricultural background. Her family is from Abbeville. They have acreage. They've raised cattle, swine, poultry, fruit, vegetables, more homesteading, but they do have ag background. So she's excited. She's coming to campus next week to visit. Her mother actually worked here, worked as the alternative
of school. So she's just gonna see how it's progressed in church. But we're very excited about that. The kids are very excited as well. They are very antsy not having stuff to do. But we've also changed till around, which is their required study time. So it went from 6:15 to 7:15 in the evening to 8:15 to 9:15, and that gives them a bigger chunk right after school to work with the SAE coordinators and get more agriculture things done. And they're not getting their evening broken up by study time. They also are being able to wind down better. So they're taking time to wind down, do academics, and then winding down for the night. So it's provided a lot more calmer evenings for us, which we are grateful for. But any other questions? We do have multiple staff out on FMLA for my department, and we will have some out longer term than we expected, but we are covering them with part-time staff, and I'm covering as well.
Is this a true statement? Are we limited to growth because we have no additional housing?
Yes.
That is true, isn't it? That we cannot take any more students than we have houses here to put them in, right?
Yes. We can take day students, but we won't be able to take any more.
And has anybody looked at the number of students in housing versus the other schools? For example, I'm thinking of math and science, I was just in art school.
We've talked about, and my general idea is in a few years asking Dr. Cowan to go towards the board or to the General Assembly and ask for one big residence hall that will sit behind this building.
One big residence hall, is that what you said? Okay.
Yes, and not use the little ones anymore. And Ms. Miller and I have come up with a general plan for the little ones so they will still be used for something so that it will not go to waste. Every building will still have a purpose and a use. And they will still be used, but
would students still be in them though?
no, they would use for field trips. But it would be for field trips and have people come in so we can still use them. They will be overnight things. But it would be extremely more cost effective and staff effective to have one really big building, because the cost of having part-time staff is almost $500,000 a year.
Is how much a year?
$500,000.
$500,000, okay.
It's extremely inefficient. It's extremely difficult to find staff. It's just very inefficient. The cost to heat and cool them, the supplies you have to buy for 12 buildings versus one big one. We were calculating out the supplies to buy binders and pens and pencil, and it's a lot every year because we break stuff and we need to replace stuff. But with one big building, we don't have to have 12 sign-out binders because we have one sign-out desk. We buy a filing cabinet and then they sign out right there. It would be easier for the students. It would be easier for the parents. It would be easier for us as a staff. So it's
Safer.
It would be 100% safer. And that's my goal, is that would be ideally, and we could have 150 to 160 students there in one building. But the goal is to eliminate these smaller buildings.
Also in the smaller buildings, too, with our relationship improving with, for instance, vet school, et cetera, they need student housing across South Carolina because they did not build a student hospital or teaching hospital. They built teaching labs, but their internships have to go out. And so what better place to have interns? And we've already agreed to host clubs and vet schools for interns. So we're going to need.
In the vet school, you're talking about, yeah.
We will need housing, in my opinion, eventually for San Diego students.
And
that could be 20 students, not in the next 5, 6, 7 years.
And then you would also not need to renovate the wellness center because the nurses moved into the residence hall with us, because we would have that a wing for her. And then that wellness center could be turned into something else. Shiftlet, Res Life would move out of Shiftlet. That activity room would move out there into the residence hall. It would be one big activity space, a fitness center. Res Life offices would be there, and that could be the tourism and space, because you could use, the hotel would be there. Everything's already there. It could be a different space. So there's so many things that we could reuse our current buildings for if we had that one big residence hall.
Be sure in that proposal that you offset, and there's going to be someone that's going to tell you the enormous value of individual homes, like at Cuddy Mountain, for instance. And there is an advantage to that family home type thing. So it's somewhere in there offset psychologically what that
I
would
am
mean.
working on a project that has me enrolled in, a certified public manager course that I finished in May. And my project is comparing the cost of a large residence hall versus the 12 and the overall benefit that will
Well, that's
provide
good
the
that you're
agency.
doing that, that's great.
So that would help with taking the budget to the.
I just know that I face that come on board of them,
Go ahead. Yes, ma'am, go ahead.
There would be roommates, but there would be suite style. I mean, we don't have any drawings or anything yet. We haven't gotten that far. My thought would be it would be suite style, so it's 2 rooms to a bathroom. But there would be a community bonding. So each floor would be what would have been a building, and there will still be community bonding. We will not lose that at all. But we're still in the very, very broad planning stages and thoughts. I mean, there's pictures in my head, and that's as far as we've gotten. But we need to get thinking about one building at some point in the next.
Well, I have an elected official at the local level say something to me, at a city council meeting, saying to me that, you know, that's just a wonderful school down there, and, but they just don't have enough students to justify the cost. And I said, well, where would you have us put that? What do you mean? What do you mean? I said, well, they're in houses. Would you suggest we put tents out there? What would you suggest we do about that? We can't increase the enrollment. If you want to look at money, you know, money spent per student, we can't do anything about that because we don't have a place to put them. Oh, I mean, no idea that they look at this school and they've got to say 78 students and they're spending this kind of money. I mean, that's way for some like, particularly local elected officials.
And it
happen to be a city council.
It's very, very, very difficult to find part-time staff that will come in on the weekends and work the long shifts that we need. I'm working this weekend because we have people out on FMLA, so it is what it is, but we have to have coverage. We have used the hotel in recent weekends because we've moved now, just girls or just boys, but we've had to put kids in the hotel because we don't have enough staff to manage multiple buildings, so we'll condense them and put them in. But
you know, everybody knows how to fix it. It has nothing to do with it. You understand?
and parents are understanding, but you know, they're not as understanding as, you know, the kids don't like it either.
Well, someone had just said, had introduced me by saying my affiliation with the school. So when it's over, this official comes up to me and said, one thing about that school down there, they got so few students, and I said, they send all that money down there to the governor's school.
But the people don't realize that's our stumbling block right now is accommodation. I mean, we can grow
But I
it
said,
without
we want to
accommodation.
put them, we'll get another 100, we want to put them 10.
We're in an odd time of this school. We're at the very beginning. We're trying to catch up on 30 years of deferred maintenance. We can't help it cost that much.
That's
Plus,
right.
we don't have bed space for them. We're just in an odd time. I mean, once we get these dorms rocking and rolling, we're still.
Yeah, you'll be okay. But we're still very much a growing stage. I mean, we've got some growing to do to get where other government schools are.
Listen, they were funded in 2016, 2017, 2018 with 2 or 3 or 4 or 10 kids here.
Yeah, they were built with
more employees than we have now.
housing building.
Yeah, with more, I was gonna say how many people on staff.
And Arts and Humanities has always just had one residence hall. Math and Science has always just had one residence hall. They don't have part-time staff. Well, Math and Science does, they do.
Well, they've got a tremendous, I was just in arts
They
last
do
week.
things really
They've got a great residence hall down there, math, it's right across the street from my undergraduate alma mater. So I'm very familiar with it, right there.
They use Coker College RAs, plus they have full-time staffs. They have a different thing. Arts and Humanities has 11 full-time live-in staff. It's very different than what we have. We have 11 full-time live-in staff, but we have 22 part-time staff because not everybody can work every weekend. we're still looking for more. There's most weekends where we're like, we are short 3 staff. So there's always, I mean, we still have the posting.
What percentage of our students go home on the weekend?
It depends weekend from weekend. Sometimes it's 60% go home, sometimes it's 50%. This weekend it's almost 80, but that's because we have a lot on a field trip right now, so they're not technically here. But I would say typically it's about 60%. So we have about 40 students here every weekend.
About 60% you're saying?
Go home every weekend, but that's still a lot of students for us to manage, especially when there's 2 kids per building. I can't be like, okay, everybody. But we're to the point where if we're full, we don't have a place to move them, so we can't condense, which is a great problem to have. By no means is it an issue, but if we had one big building, it wouldn't matter how many.
I think one thing is, when you talk about the other government schools, how many camps they run, how many other people do they service during the year, like all these groups from agriculture that come in here to meet, they don't give us any credit for doing that kind of thing.
That's because they don't do it, Deb, that's why you don't see.
And down the road, I think Piedmont Tech could possibly be involved with the meats lab too, right? So then you got Piedmont Tech students to house here, you got Clemson students to house here.
That would be a great source of
Yeah.
income.
Yes, and the perception of it, you know, out there, that perception, and unfortunately, that's a fact, perception is a
And
fact.
part of that is because of what's gone on here in the
Before.
past years. We're gonna always have some of that.
Thank you, Ms. Dana.
Okay, I think we've got some votes to go over now, and the first one begins with consideration of the school calendar, and Mr. Thompson's already talked about that.
I move we accept it.
I feel like they look at it and they know what they need, so I don't.
Second motion.
So take the move to approve what they,
What's their name, that's what it's good.
ain't got a second, okay, all right, so we got, motion and a second to approve their calendar. Any discussion?
Only discussion I got, the way it was presented, it says 2026-2027 modified year-round academic calendar. But that's the way we want the title to be, because I thought.
That's the state title.
Oh, that's what the state.
If you don't go exactly how the state calendar.
I got it. But again, it's not year-round schooling, it's just the year-round calendar. Okay.
It's modified from the typical calendar.
Yep.
Because we got that fall break. for residential.
I'm good with it.
Any other discussion? Hearing none, we'll vote, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. Motion carries, the school calendar, adopted. Now, these board policies, I'll get Mr. Calendar, we vote on all 6 of those together.
I think it would make more sense to vote all 6 under one. For parliamentary procedure, vote all 6. These are the policies that Dr. Moore, thank you, first of all, has worked with the School Board Association, their attorneys to write the board policies for you all. We went back through and edited a few little things like our school names, and a few things like that, but in my opinion, they're squeaky clean. I would vote on all 6.
I'll say this, being involved with these and the, strategic plan, there was enormous amount of back and forth. I mean, every little corner you could look at has been looked at, and the job that, while I'm there and looked at it while we were going through them, is exceptional. There's good people in there that's from community outreach, being there as much as people here at the school. There's a lot of time and effort's been put in there to doing that, and the important thing is we've got to get these things posted so that they're out there. They're not concrete. We can make changes, but I think they've done an exceptional job of looking in the future, way in the future, what we can do, and like just speaking like Daniel was talking about the possibility of a new dorm here, and all that stuff's included in it. So I from my standpoint, I don't see how we could improve on what they provided in these things.
Piggyback on that real quick, he was y'all's representative, and y'all would not want to spend the amount of time and days that took a lot of detail work on this. Y'all were welcome to look at strategic plan. First of all, I think you can go ahead and do
Let's do the
Yeah,
policies
so
first.
I'll make the motion to
adopt and approve the proposed board of trustee policy, not only individually, but, I'm sorry, not as individuals, but as a whole as presented.
Second. We have a second from Ron. Okay, with the motion and seconded that we approve all of these board policies. Any other discussion before we vote? Hearing none, vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, no. Okay, so it's unanimous that we accept those and move down to the strategic plan.
Again, y'all, this is just posted on our website. These are things that we've talked about since I got here 6 years ago, but it's finally on one document, one paper. Thank you, Dr. Moore, again for making it.
I don't know what we've done with that.
I know, reader friendly and flowed correctly. We just never had all these ideas on one paper as a strategic plan. Again, it's adoptable and amendable annually. That strategic plan will continue, and this board should be giving input to us to go back to that strategic plan annual meeting. So,
We do.
I'll make a motion to accept the strategic plan 25-30.
Second your motion. Okay. It's moved and seconded that we approve the strategic plan. Any discussion?
Just appreciate everybody's support. The deep dive, I know we talked about this last 3 meetings that we had, about how much money, sorry, how much time we put into it. So again, phenomenal job. Appreciate you guys stepping up for us.
Any other? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. Plan, the strategic plan is approved.
so when we get those onto the website, pretty quick.
It's pretty easy to do.
Yeah, okay. I can do it today. Yeah, we're good. If I have it. Y'all see it together? We don't have to do it today, but next week at least.
No, as soon as today.
And there will be also, there will be more policies to come, more board policies. That was the first 6 that we squeaky cleaned. There will be more, right?
Yes, sir.
Probably, what, I don't know, probably 10 more or so roughly.
The whole project is just updating, revising, and pulling together policies from the transition. That's kind of where the project started to accreditation. And what you'll see with the coding, following the South Carolina School Board codes, that's why we're working with the School Board Association, Ms. Cleveland there as their director of legal. It's just to revise some of the policies that they did have on file and go through the whole, just reconstruct those that are missing or that we have gaps in, that go from the first section is school governance, foundations and commitments, and then school governance all the way through personnel. So there's probably a few hundred policies that we'll be going through over the next several months. So it's
We can quote, we have them and have them written down.
Okay, now, have a motion.
Motion to executive session.
Is there a second?
I'll second your motion.
Okay. Okay, we're going to,
Dan's gonna give us a thumbs up, Dan, make it nice and loud and clear when we are no longer, being live streamed. Does that make sense?
discussion of employment, appointment, compensation, promotion, demotion, discipline, or release of an employee, student, or person regulated by a public body or appointment of a person